Hello, this is Xbox Ahoy, and this is the 6th episode of my Black Ops 2 weapon guide. This time, we're covering the Type 25. The first fictional weapon we're covering, the Type 25 is a descendant of the Type 95 seen in Modern Warfare 3. It's a fully automatic weapon this time around, lacking the deadly 3-round burst of its previous incarnation. The Type 25 is a Chinese weapon, and as its designation implies, was likely introduced in the year 2025. Save for a few aesthetic differences, the Type 25 is of the same configuration as the QBZ-95, a bullpup design with the magazine behind the trigger. It fires a Chinese cartridge similar to the 5.56mm NATO round, the 5.8 by 42mm DBP-87 round. Presumably in the 30 years between the QBZ-95 and Type 25, there would be some iterative improvements. The QBZ had a few ergonomic issues, so it's fair to assume in the later rifle design these may have been ironed out. Any other suggestion of technical changes would, of course, be entirely speculative. The Type 25 is a low-damage weapon. It requires 4 shots to the body to kill, or 3 shots where 1 is a headshot. Range damage is relatively consistent, with the weapon never needing more than 5 shots to kill at a distance. The Type 25's key strength is its rate of fire. At approximately 940 rounds per minute, the Type 25's fire rate is higher than all other automatic assault rifles, and is on par with some of the SMGs. This makes the weapon better suited to close-range combat, with the higher rate of fire making for more forgiving performance. Hipfire spread is on par with most other assault rifles, slightly better when prone in fact. The higher rate of output also helps make for perhaps the most consistent performance from the hip within the assault rifle category. Recoil is moderate, exacerbated by this higher rate of fire. To retain accuracy at longer distances, you should burst fire your weapon. Such fire control is essential for effective ranged use. Otherwise, you'll miss most of your shots and potentially deplete your magazine before securing the kill. Aim time is standard for the assault rifles at 250 milliseconds, and your movement speed is as expected too, at 95% of the maximum base speed. Magazine capacity is on par with most others in its class, at 30 rounds by default, or 40 with the extended clip attachment. With the fast rate of fire, reloads are frequent, but they don't take too long to complete, at 2.34 seconds for a tactical reload. Our build with the Type 25 is one geared towards aggressive use. As this weapon fares best in close to mid-range encounters, you'll be at home in the thick of it, with a blend of resistivity, speed, and close-range offensive ability. One of the key problems with the Type 25 is its rate of ammunition consumption, and the fast mag attachment is our first choice as a result. This will speed up your reloads by about 35%, reducing the odds that you'll be caught unready with an empty magazine. The Type 25's rate of fire means tackling multiple opponents at once can be challenging. Engaging more than 2 foes together will likely leave your mag dry before the third is slain. Our second attachment will help to avoid overwhelming attention when operating within a particularly action-packed envelope. The suppressor will keep you off the minimap when firing, and is a good fit for the Type 25, with its relatively flat damage and fast rate of fire. It will also help keep you alive for longer. You will attract less attention when you fire, and can pick off unsuspecting foes as they pass you by. The suppressor also has the benefit of removing the muzzle flash when you fire, keeping your eye and sights clearer, and permitting more accurate shots. Our first perk choice is the ever-useful Flak Jacket. This will protect you from explosive damage, and, as with the suppressor, will help you to live longer to attain the higher score streaks. Next, we'll be taking 2 perks from the second tier, making use of the Perk 2 Greed wildcard. First up is Scavenger. The Type 25 has a voracious appetite, and will rapidly chew through your starting supply. If we're to attain long streaks with this weapon, additional supplies are essential. And as a close-range mobile class, we should have no such supply issues with Scavenger. We'll also have the added benefit of restocking our lethal equipment, and as such, our second perk in Tier 2 will help make such ordnance more effective within aggressive use. Fast Hands will speed up weapon swap times and equipment usage, 2 very useful traits when you're close to the enemy. This reduces your weapon's downtime and will help to ensure you're nearly always ready to fire at an incoming opponent. once again helping to preserve any streak you might have going on. Our final perk is a perfect resistive complement to Flak Jacket, and ideal for our build. Tactical Mask will render enemy shock charges, stuns and flashbangs all but useless against you. This will serve you well when facing flash-happy opponents, or in those cases where your enemy resorts to their tactical grenades in an attempt to exact revenge upon you. In any case, Tac Mask will keep your sights clear in anticipation of their arrival. For your equipment, C4 is a deadly explosive choice that can turn the tables on larger groups of enemies hoping to rush you. The Type 25's magazine capacity might let you down against groups of enemies, but a single C4 can take out multiple foes in a single blast. C4 works extremely well with Fast Hands and Scavenger in tandem. You'll have a near limitless supply of fast throwing and deadly explosives. Double tap your reload button, or the use key on PC, for a super fast detonation. Just be aware that this will start the Type 25's reload process if your magazine isn't already full. Finally, our last point is spent on a secondary of your choice. With Fast Hands, any handgun will offer a lightning quick backup in those cases when you need one. If you're confident enough to scavenge a weapon from the battlefield, Fast Hands will also permit rapid switching to a second primary. You could then forego a pistol in favour of a tactical grenade of your choice, but until you find a spare weapon, you'll have naught but your knife in reserve. That's our build. A balanced set of abilities that lend themselves well to aggressive play with the assault rifles. Unlike the SMGs, assault rifles don't fare so well in frantic, fast-paced rush gameplay. Instead, you're better off being slightly more cautious in your approach with the Type 25. You can compete up close, but it's best to let your enemy wander into your sights, instead of forcing direct engagements. Position yourself near to hotly contested areas or high-traffic choke points, and adjust your placement to suit your circumstance. When the enemy's assault slackens off, push forward, and when things get too hot, fall back and lie in wait. With a careful blend of caution and aggression, you can stay close to the fight, yet preserve your score streaks, punish your enemy's mistakes, and lure them to their demise. The Type 25 is an assault rifle geared for aggression. Its key advantage, a high rate of fire. With such lead output, this weapon is able to compete relatively well against SMG users and shotguns, while the flatter damage profile means you retain decent lethality at a middle range too. Paired with moderately good handling traits, you've got a weapon that performs adequately at close range and out to middle distances. The Type 25 bridges the gap between an assault rifle and SMG. However, at a very long range, the moderate recoil and low damage may foul your chances at securing a kill. And despite the Type 25's suitability for close quarter combat, the SMGs will still have an edge against you. Nevertheless, if you can enter gunfights from a position of preparedness, you can maintain your advantage, and won't suffer a range penalty at a mid-range like most SMGs. A torrent of lead will be your opponent's eternal reward. This Chinese rifle offers unrelenting force in a versatile package. With such balanced traits, a resistive loadout, and reliable close-range performance, in critical moments, the Type 25 will help keep you alive. Thanks for watching, this has been Xbox Ahoy. Join me next week when I'll be covering the second SMG, the PDW-57. Until then, farewell.